welcome to my channel. I'm Gary Wiriawan and today is another Everyday's Photography Challenge video, and I'm currently here in Art Jog in Yogyakarta. This is like an art exhibition which is really cool. I kinda like this sort of exhibition, although I don't fully understand this exhibition, but now I want to try to take some photographs of it. I think this is a good opportunity for me to practice my photography. In terms of gear, I'm keeping it very simple with just one lens today. This is a new TTArtisan 23mm f1.4, and I'm going to try to test it today, as well as trying to practice my 23mm focal length, kind of, you know, a pre-visualization, if you will. So yeah, let's try to take some photographs today with the TTArtisan 23mm f1.4. Alright, so we're trying to photograph some of the paintings. As I explained earlier, I'm using the TTArtisan 23mm f1.4. I'm just going to try to shoot everything at f1.4. I think it's going to be interesting. So we have to rely on manual focus, and thankfully with the GX85 it's quite easy with the picking. So we're going to try to focus with the picking and the punch in. Something like this. I'm going to try to crop it later. Yep. So again, I'm trying to photograph one of these unique looking statue right here. So I'm at f1.4 again and trying to compose something like this. Now let's try to focus. Yep, with manual focus lens you have to be patient because you have to nail focus. Aperture priority, auto ISO, something like this. Let's try to capture these two together. I'm going to try to focus on the one on the front. Something like this. Excellent. That thing right there looks kind of interesting. Let's try to photograph them together. Alright. This is quite interesting. I'm going to try to photograph this structure right here with the closest focusing distance that we can use on this lens, which is 20 centimeter. Again, f1.4. I want to try to get some background blur. So something like this. I kind of like the effects. You can see what I'm doing on the camera, and I'm just trying to aim for something with lots of lines on the image. Something like this. Alright, nice. And I'm going to try to photograph also this statue right here. I'm going to try to just focus on the head. Manual focus, f1.4, like usual. So yeah, I'm trying to punch in and try to find the best spot to focus again. Alright, I think that's sharp enough. Let's take the shot. Alright, let's try to take this one right here. I think it looks kind of interesting with the shapes and the silver kind of color. I'm focusing until I get the perfect focus, and now let's take the shot. Nice. So I'm going to try to take a picture of this painting right here, made from words, but it's actually making into shapes that I kind of like. Looks interesting. Something like this. Going to try to focus again. The focus picking. This will all be manual focus pictures, so we have to be a little bit patient about that. Again, with shapes like words which are really detailed and there are lots of curves, I think it's easier for me to focus because we have lots of contrast. Again, let's try to type the picture right here. I'm still at f1.4. Nice. What about this guy right here? Let's try. Try to focus again until the letters are sharp. You can see what I'm doing in the camera. Okay, again, let's try to focus until it is sharp. Take the shot. Alright. Well, this is kind of scary, but I want to try to test the low light capabilities once more of this lens. So let's try to take pictures of these heads on the wall right there. Looks kind of scary, but it's kind of interesting. Lots of lines, patterns, shapes, colors. Let's try to take a picture. f1.4 aperture priority. One more time. I didn't think you can see the camera, so I'm redoing it one more time. Nailing focus. Nice. Trying to photograph this structure right here. with f1.4. Aperture priority, I'm trying to nail the focus on where the eye should be on this statue. Alright, nice. Very low shutter speed, we're at pretty high ISO, but I don't think it's a problem. Alright, let's try to capture this structure right here. Looks kind of interesting with lots of lines and shapes. And there's a rotating part on the upper part of this structure. f1.4. Let's try to nail focus one more time. Nice. Alright, let's try to photograph this angry boy statue right here. I'm going to try to find the best composition for it with the 23mm focal length. It's a little bit tricky, it's a little bit too tight for this kind of exhibition, but I think I'm doing fine with it right now. I'm trying to focus, nailing the focus on the face. Aperture priority f1.4. Alright, one more time. Let's try to make sure that the focus hasn't changed. Yep, alright. Nice. This painting right here looks kind of interesting. Let's try to take a picture of it. I'm going to step back a little bit so that I can get the whole thing in the frame. Again, nailing focus. I think I got it. Alright. I'm going to try to take a picture of my wife with the 23mm with these nice cool looking structures on the white background. I'm going to overexpose just a little bit so that I can get some of the whites to look really white. And now I'm going to nail focus. So we're going to focus on her face. f1.4 aperture priority. I think this should look fine. One more. I'm going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to try to nail focus one more time. Alright, cool. Nice. One more. One more time. I'm just checking that the focus isn't moving. Nice. One more horizontal composition. Going to focus right on her face. One more time. Alright. So I'm trying to photograph this sign right here. Looks kind of interesting with the triangle shape and the red background. Going to step forward a little bit so that I can get just that particular sign by itself. Trying to nail focus, f1.4. Alright, nice. This looks kind of interesting. I want to try to capture it as well. Let's try to nail focus on right there, I think. Yep, that's about it. f1.4. Capture it one more time. Nice. And now this room right here. Let's try to capture that structure right there. Nail the focus first, f1.4. And like that. Whoops. I think we have to go full manual on this one. Alright, maybe something like this. Alright. The flicker of the light is actually fooling the camera, so we have to go full manual for that. Okay, this is also interesting. I'm going to try to take a photograph of it. Okay, nailing the focus with the TTArtisan takes a little bit of patience, but I don't think it's a problem for things like this. You can do it and it just takes very little time. And after a few photographs, I started to get the hang of it and it just feels very natural for me. So I'm going to try to capture these three paintings right here against the white background. That looks really cool. f1.4, I'm at full manual because I want to try to retain the whiteness of the white painting of the background. Nailing the focus one more time, trying to make sure that I'm not missing the focus. Alright, this is my composition. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to try to capture a portrait of my wife against that yellow painting over there. Looks kind of interesting. f1.4, trying to nail focus. Alright, I think we got the focus right. Let's try to take the picture one more time. Again, trying to make sure that the focus hasn't changed. Alright, few more. One more. Nice. And that wraps up today's video. So that is all for today's video. I hope that today's photo shoot has been inspiring, useful and informative for you. So I haven't really decide about the image quality or anything like that with the TTArtisan because I cannot really see the picture if it's sharp or not, or if there's any imperfection with this lens, but a review of this lens is coming up. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And also don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video and subscribing to my channel down below, and also use the super thanks button and my affiliate links down below. Thank you and see you on the next video. Goodbye.